So California's population has declined for the first time in history. It's never happened before. So on this video, we're going to take a detailed look at the history of people moving to California and also exactly how many people have left the state of California and what areas are the hardest hit. And we're getting after it right now. And I'm Mike Gallagher. If this is your first time to my channel, we talk all about living in Utah, eating, sleeping, drinking, playing, whatever there is. If you'd like to find out some more information, you may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. And we help so many people buy or sell real estate in the state of Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you are considering purchasing a home in Utah, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We got your back when moving to Utah. So on today's video, we're talking about California's decline in population. It's been happening for a few years, but this is the first time in 2020 that more people have left the state of California than have moved into the state of California. So how did we get to this point, and how did California's population grow so much? Well, it all started back in the 1850s. A lot of people headed to the West Coast for one big thing, the gold rush. There was a lot of money to be made mining for gold along the whole West Coast. California was one of the hot spots. A lot of people came over for great paying jobs, and that has continued throughout the years. So the population in California has surged and slowed for many decades. There were some other times when the population increased apart from the gold rush. One particular time was during World War II. There was a big need for any kind of equipment, jeeps, tanks, airplanes. Well, defense contractors were booming. Lots of jobs came to California. They were making airplanes as fast as they can out of California. Companies like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. Big push to help support the war. My father-in-law told me a story in Idaho that they were asking farmers and anybody in the state to donate any kind of steel they might have for the war effort. And they would take that steel, ship it to California, melt it down so they could build more aircraft. They could not produce equipment fast enough to fight World War II. So another time that most people will remember will be the tech boom of the 1980s and 1990s. Basically put Silicon Valley on the map. Tech companies grew throughout this time period. Some of the biggest names in the tech industry called California home. Brought high-paying jobs, great jobs. Lots of people came to the state of California to fill all these positions. I'm familiar with that also myself in the state of Utah. We have an area called Silicon Slopes. It's just south of Salt Lake City. People are coming from all over the country, all over the world to fill tech jobs. We are having a huge population boom in the state of Utah at the current time. It's been going on for quite a few years. But California went through the exact same thing. The tech industry brought lots of jobs. Well, that growth is slowing down. As a matter of fact, just last week, it was announced that California will lose a congressional seat for the first time ever. I know some people are thinking, well, Mike, we've got too many politicians anyways. We could lose one or two, and that's probably for another video. But why is this happening? Mostly due to the slow growth over the last decade. It has slowed down. But don't worry, California is by no means empty. There is still 39.5 million residents. And the California congressional delegation will still be one of the largest in the country. Well, it's now documented that in recent years, more people have left the state of California. What are some of the reasons? Some of the reasons that I hear are due to high taxes and progressive politics. Now, this isn't a video about politics, but as a real estate agent in Utah, I'm getting more and more phone calls from individuals that would like to leave a blue state for a red state. And it's not just California. I receive calls from Washington State, Chicago, New York, with very similar situations. Another reason that I've heard for many years is the affordability issue with homes. Currently in the state of California, the average home price is about $758,000. But in some of the more desirable areas, it is hard to find a home in that price range. Some people feel that the decline can be attributed to the virus that hit the whole country. actually hit the whole world. Well, California has been losing people steadily over the last 10 years. 6.1 million people left for other states, while 4.9 million people arrived in the state of California. So population increases can come from a variety of sources. One can be from births. People having more kids, staying in the state of California, increases the population. Also, international immigrants. In a normal year, California receives about 140 to 150,000 people from other countries. Well, in 2020, that number was 29,000. Yes, 29,000 people out of the normal 140 to 150,000. That is about 1/5 of what it normally receives. So another area would be the international students that come to California. With the global lockdowns all around the world, most countries were in some form of lockdown. There was a 29% decline in the amount of students that came to California. That equates to 53,000 people. Also, while we were talking about births in the state of California, it also declined. But that is also a national trend. Just about every state in the United States has seen a decline recently. We also saw an increase in the death rate in California, a 19% increase. Some of that can be contributed to the virus, which killed approximately 51,000 people throughout the state of California. Speaking of the death rate in California, one area that saw the largest increase, and that would be Los Angeles. Los Angeles also saw a population decrease of about 52,000 residents. But don't worry, it's not becoming a ghost town. The current population is about 3.9 million residents. The state of California's 4 most populated areas: LA, San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, in 2020 lost and combined 88,000 residents. But not all those residents moved out of the state of California. Some are moving to the inland cities like Sacramento and Fresno and Bakersfield. People are fleeing high-priced coastal cities for some cheaper living. The pandemic has helped with this. Some jobs, people are allowed to work remotely or work from home. So they've taken that advantage to work for their same company, but from home, and live in a lower cost of living area. California isn't the only state that has people moving out of some of the most populated cities. There are cities around the country like Boston. People are moving to the outskirts. Seattle, Washington. People are moving to the neighborhood cities away from downtown Seattle. Chicago, and even New York City. Yes, even New York City. People are moving to neighboring cities, mostly because they can work from home. But I also feel some of it's to do with the fact that home prices are a little bit more affordable in some of the surrounding areas, and their money goes a little bit further. Even in the state that I reside in, Utah, we are seeing people moving out of the downtown area. Downtown Salt Lake City, some people are choosing to move north or south, mostly because they can work remotely. They want to get out of the big city area. We're also seeing a lot of people moving from states like California, Seattle, Washington, Chicago, New York, moving to Utah, mostly people with jobs that can work remotely, but some people are taking employment in the state of Utah. And I feel that some people are moving here because their dollar, once again, can go a little bit further than what it can in some of the big cities around the country. So in conclusion, California is in a declining mode at the current time, but that could change in the upcoming years. Maybe they go back to increase, and maybe it continues to decrease. If you live in the state of California, I would love to know in the comments down below, are you happy with the decline in population in California, or would you like to see more people move to the state of California? Also, if you live in the state of California, have you ever considered moving out of the state of California? Love to know in the comments down below. If you do have any kind of questions about the state of Utah, I'm glad to assist you in any way that I can. Until the next video, take care and stay safe.